Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to Paul's Monday Market Update number 227 for Monday, 15th of June, 2026. I hope you're well. Hope you've had a good weekend. Hope you're ready for what is going to be an interesting week ahead for us. Okay, lots going on, lots been going on, of course, and lots to come this week. So it is going to be an interesting week for us. If you are joining us for the first time, the Monday Market Update is just that. It is me flying through as much as I can share with you in the next 30 minutes, looking at strength and weakness within FX, indices and commodities markets, looking at some charts of interest you might want to add to your watch list, and then a look at the live markets. It's not a signal service. It's not trade recommendations. It's me sharing with you what I'm looking at, which might be of relevance or help to you in your own trading and investing decisions. And as always, okay, you're always very welcome here, but just remember, you're always responsible for your own trading and investing decisions. And if you want a little bit more help and support, you can also join the VTP Trader Accountability Group, which is all about helping you build discipline, accountability, and consistency in your trading, regardless of whether you've been trading for 2 months or 2 decades, or regardless of whether you're a scalper, an intraday, a position, a swing, etc. Once again, there's a bit.ly code there you can use, or the QR code. I'll take you to details. All right, and as always, we'll finish with sterling here. All right, so bang, sterling. I'm just working this. So there was very little on an intraday basis for me to do this morning, because most of the moves in sterling had happened overnight because of the Iran deal. But we're looking at what is really going on there. As I said with FTSE, sterling has had some strength, but part of it is you've got to wonder, well, where has it come from? All right, if we look at here on the weekly chart and cable, if you look at that for the last few weeks, nothing terribly exciting. We have ground our way higher against Japanese yen. So is everybody, even after their intervention. We'll see what Bank of Japan do overnight, okay, and whether that has any particular impact. We have strengthened against against the Aussie, okay. The chart against Kiwi has been sort of messy. We've strengthened against Canadian dollar even, but Canadian dollar has been weak against everybody, right? Kind of maybe the ones that have been of interest have been, if we look at pound against Swiss franc, and we talked about here, all right, this was start of the war. This S&P said they were manipulating, and they have done. We're in a little bit of a block, okay. We kind of popped off the 50, but actually last week we closed back above the 50 period moving average. All right, that's where we've closed there. All right, and you can look on the daily chart. This month we have seen, what I'd probably say Swiss franc weakness, all right, more so than sterling strength, but ultimately that's where we've worked our way up there, okay, and pound against Swiss franc, all right, so watch that. And then I say on the flip side, euro against sterling, you might look at that as being in a kind of like a descending triangle there, right? Every time it's got down to this kind of 86 area, 86.25, it's bounced, but every bounce has been a little bit weaker, hasn't it? It's been a little bit weaker, and we're kind of sat there, right? And so you're looking to see, well, if we go down to the daily chart, is this going to continue, or is 86.25 going to is it gonna break, or are we going to get a little bit of that euro strength and a little bit of sterling weakness, which would kind of pump us above? So we're at a zone, all right, which has acted as support. You can see hopefully there, and okay, and as I said, I'll be talking about this a little bit later. But the question becomes, does it have what it takes to go there? Okay, maybe by the end of this week, but after all that sterling data and all the sterling political volatility, maybe we'll have a little bit of a clearer pattern there. Okay, but that's an area and a zone that I'm kind of watching at the moment to see if it holds or if it breaks. Okay, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I appreciate we overran a little bit, but there's so much for me to share with you, and I appreciate that I am flying through this, all right, as fast as I can. But as I said, I just want to share as much with you, especially when we're in a time in a period where there's an awful lot going on in markets. Anyway, I hope that helps you. I hope that gives you a little bit of help and insight that you can take away into your own trading. As I said, it is going to be a very busy, a very volatile week. So make sure that you're on top of your news flow. Make sure you're on top of your order flow. Make sure you're on top of your risk management. Have a great trading week, everybody, and I will speak to you soon. Take care and trade well, everybody. Cheers.